What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back. Force here, and today we'll be taking a look at Rocketbirds Hardboiled Chicken. Yep, that's really the game's name. This is a 2D action platformer that was developed by Ratloop Asia. Here in this video, we'll be going over the basics of the game, which will include me showing you some gameplay footage, talking about the game's various features, and then giving you my general thoughts and impressions on the title. Let's start off with the most basic of things. Once again, this is a 2D action platformer. Besides 2D action, which is shooting, some light combat, as well as platforming, this game also features puzzle solving. In fact, I think it's almost unfair to call this a 2D action platformer. It's more of a 2D puzzle platformer with some light action. Now, the reason I use the term light action is because the game's combat is kind of terrible, specifically though in these platforming sections of the game. So the game's divided into a couple different segments. There is the platforming action with some combat, as you're seeing here. In addition to that, there is also a jetpack portion of this game. They're actually just scattered throughout the game's campaign as you make your way through the various chapters. I believe the total is 15 chapters in this game. It's either 12 or 15. It slips my mind at the moment. But yes, as you work your way through the game's various chapters, you kind of bounce in between platforming and jetpacking. But most of the game is this 2D platforming, exactly what you're seeing here. And the combat is pretty terrible in these sections. The primary reason that I say it's terrible is because there's no aiming whatsoever. The only control you have over how you're firing and where you're firing is obviously when you fire, you do left mouse button, but then you can just go, you can aim left, you can aim right, and then you can duck. And that's it. That is all you can do. I can't move my mouse around to shoot up or shoot down. You shoot in a straight line, and that is it. That is basically all you do. So that is true. Like, the combat is terrible, but don't dismiss the game immediately because of that. The reason I say that is because the major focus of this game is actually the puzzle solving and the platforming. That's really where this game kind of shines, if you could even say it shines. I'm not going to come out and say that this is an amazing game. After a couple of hours with it so far, I would say it's kind of average, but it has its interesting moments. You just can't go into this thinking you're going to get the most amazing action experience, and this will be like the most intense shooting platformer ever, because that is not what this game's focus is whatsoever. Alright, so we have just discovered a shotgun. There are various weapons that you discover as you make your way through the game. You've got the basic pistol, as well as that machine gun type weapon. I'm sure it's got a specific name. So you got a pistol, machine gun, or whatever, semi-auto, I don't know guns whatsoever. And then I've got a shotgun. Now, all these weapons, they share the same rounds. They share the same ammunition. You can take a look in the upper left. You're going to see I shoot my pistol. It uses up some of the ammo, and then I switch to this. It uses up that same ammo, and I switch to the shotgun, and it continuously uses that same ammo. Which kind of confused me a little bit because I don't believe pistols and shotguns use the same ammo, but again, I'm not really much of a gun guy. I don't really know much about guns. I just know how to shoot them in video games. So. Alright, let's continue along. So platforming, yes. One thing I do want to mention next, though, is the art style of this game. The direction, very, very cartoony. In fact, when I first started playing this, I said, I feel like I'm watching like a Saturday morning cartoon. That's literally the vibe that I get from this game. You know, I wouldn't say it's like my favorite style of art in a game, you know, a platformer nevertheless. I really prefer kind of the almost very ultra colorful and sort of not realistic, but see, again, this is like a cartoon. I like cartoony, but not cartoon. For example, I'll point to Trine 2 and the original Trine as well. I really like that visual for platformers. This is distinct, and I would say it's relatively unique. I don't think I see a lot of platformers that are straight up like Saturday morning cartoon visuals like I see here. But again, it's not really my favorite. But if you happen to like this, then that's great too. I think I picked up the card, did I? Yeah, I've got my green card. Okay, so let's focus on the game's various features, particularly the puzzle solving. That's, again, really where this game, that's really where this game shines. That's really the biggest thing about this game. So at first you start off by just sort of opening doors, and that's what we're going to see here. As you progress through the game, though, you get the ability to mind control enemies, and you use that as a method of opening doors and solving puzzles as well. This game also has a two-person co-op mode in which you have to use both players have to be involved in solving the various puzzles. It's not just one player can do it, the other player can just walk around all willy-nilly. There'll be situations where you need one player in one position, another player in an opposite position in order to get past the upcoming obstacle. Speaking of obstacles, I am trapped in a prison cell. Uh-oh.
I can't believe I fell for that. I must be getting old.
Welcome to Rocketbirds Hardboiled Chicken. You disappoint me. This was too easy.
Still wearing the black star, I see.
You make it sound like a bad thing. But enough talk. You have the rest of your life to talk. And if you don't feel like talking, I will make you talk.
Up and down, back and forward, rattle the cage to wake my mother. Black and white dreams and colorful spells into a different set of rooms where we don't belong. A serpent arise from out of the depths, heading for the sun, looking into my eyes. Illuminate me so I may see the light. Illuminate me so I cease to long for anything. Illuminate me so I can tell what's right. Eliminate me so I come to know myself.
Alright, so that cinematic that we just watched helps to explain some of the story behind our main character, Hardboiled Chicken. And I'm sure you could tell from that where he gets that name from. He was a hard-boiled chicken. Alright, this is our little buddy here, part of the Resistance. He is the Cardinal. Obviously, the bird, of course. And Cardinals in this game assist us in our endeavor. We're trapped in prison, it's time to escape. He will help me escape. And I'll show you how in just one moment. This is actually where we pick up one of the first interesting mechanics in this game. The ability to mind control with the brain bugs. So those are our brain bugs. We have got infinite of them, and we throw them by using the right mouse button. Now what's going to happen is I hold it down and I can choose to aim it. The weird thing though is it kind of gets stuck here. I can't just continue my mouse right to move to the right side, which would make sense that it would do it, but it doesn't. I have to let go and then change direction. It's kind of odd. All right, well let me go ahead and make use of this, however. You can go over in this direction, and I've got to arc it so that it will land right at the penguin's feet. He's having a great day. Today's the day he makes that change. No, not really. Today's the day you get mind controlled. I don't know if you heard him, but when you mind control them, they say, man, I gotta take a huge dump. Alright, so he is now mind controlled. I've got the ability to move around with him. I also have the ability to shoot. So I will use him. Hey, Earl. You look different today. This game definitely has some comedy. It doesn't really hit at all moments, but it has moments where it does hit. I suppose that was a weird phrasing. It doesn't hit all the time. It doesn't always, the jokes don't really land. I guess that's kind of like me though, so I really can't complain about that. I also want to mention something else. The dimension of this game, if you haven't noticed already, it's actually presented in a 3D manner. In fact, this game is designed to be played with 3D glasses. There's a whole 3D setting. Let me show you right here in the options. You go right down here to the glasses section, and depending on the type of 3D glasses that you have, the color combination of this game will adjust itself with that. So that's something that I think is really important to keep in mind when looking at this game. You know, I think a large part of this development, at least it appears to me, maybe this is not the case and I am incorrect, but was developed around the idea that this was a 3D game. So playing it without 3D glasses, I don't think it's really fair to fully judge the game. With that said, that doesn't mean I can, you know, make an excuse for the bad combat, for example, because the combat is bad. But at the same time, I realize, you know, this game isn't 100% about the combat. This really isn't its entire focus. Okay, I can't pick up that card. So I was able to grab this little thing here and push it out, and I'm going to go up here now. And we will use this guy to try to get our main character, Hardboiled Chicken, out of jail. Now this mind control doesn't diminish at any point in time. You have it indefinitely until your character dies. Ooh! Kill him! Oh gosh. See, I can't get him like that. Oh, I'm gonna lose his character. Okay, so that's dead. Let's open that up. And then we'll kill this guy. And then, to drop mind control, watch this. You make him shoot himself. That's horrendous. That is horrible. Absolutely awful. Okay, so we're gonna move on out now that we have broken out. We are all set. I must make my way upstairs to the torture chambers. Absolutely. All right, so go to the elevator, and we'll make our way down first because that is where the elevator goes. Oh gosh, there we go. Okay. And let's see. Can I go up here? Is that my next place? No, I need a blue card, which I lack, so I just assume. Whenever you go into a room, I found in this game, definitely puzzle solving can be kind of obvious at moments, I think, especially in the early portions of the game. Now again, I'm on chapter 5 of what I believe is 15. It's either 15 or 12. I know it's not more than that. I think I remember 15. So I am kind of early on, but, oops. All right, so this is, this is, I need to go back. Let me go back down. Okay, I think I know. There was that card earlier that I couldn't pick up, so I need to go pick that up. That is what I'm gonna do. So let's go ahead and shift this back here, and then I think we can use this to jump up. There we have it. All right, beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. So it's a pretty interesting platformer, and let me actually give you a little bit of history about the game. I apologize for just completely skipping that at the beginning. This is actually a game that originally came out on PlayStation Network, and then after that the Vita version came out, and of course now the PC version. The developer, which is Ratloop, and specifically Ratloop Asia, just the Asian division. I think it was made in Singapore. Yes, the main Ratloop studio is based in Texas, and then Ratloop in Singapore is known as Ratloop Asia, and they are the ones who worked on this game. Ratloop is responsible for a few games. They actually worked on the Quake mod Malice, as well as another platformer that went by the name of Mightier. That game is kind of crazy, and I'm considering taking a look at it at some point. I don't know how old it is, but I spent some time looking at the platformer itself, and it's kind of crazy. You actually, with a pen and paper, you build your own characters and levels, and then you scan it into the game with a scanner, and then it renders itself in the game. Kind of crazy, huh? Yeah, but that's Mightier. But we're not here to talk about Mightier. We are here to talk about, the hell, the name of this game again? Rocketbirds? The game's name is so crazy. Oh, what am I doing? I'm still not even... Do I go up there to push that button? Is that what that is? That's a button over there? Gosh dang it. Gosh dang it. Puzzles elude me. I'm sure people are screaming at their screen when they saw that. I'm happy that this came to PC. I can't say that this is my favorite platform, but it's interesting. It's interesting. I will give it that much. I think as long as you go into this game with proper expectations, I had no control over that going up or down. It just goes whichever way. Because I don't think I had control over it. The Switch is only giving me one option. I'm trying to pick different ones, but not really working out for me. Alright, so we got that open. We're going to make our way up now here and continue along. There is the red key. Excellent. Okay. I'm just assuming we're gonna have to mind control him, so let's throw this up. Now, beyond these mind controlling bugs, you also eventually get grenades in the game, and then you've got your regular arsenal of weapons, which is the pistol. the pistol, machine gun, and the shotgun. I'll take control of him. There it is. Open the door. Thank you very much. And just want to check things out over here. Ah, great. Frederick. Are you here to relieve me? Absolutely. You see, though, the bit of comedy in this game? I enjoy it. All right, let's leave his mind control. All right, get myself on over. This is a gruesome room, the operating theater. Here's my blue card. I need the green card. So the blue card is for a prior area. That must be the area downstairs. Lots of back and forth running. This same type of mechanism used to solve these puzzles was actually present later on. I have played further than where we are here. I just kind of forgot how to get past this particular area. I have played further than where we are here, and running back and forth is sort of part of what they do. You know, you find this area, you gotta run to the next area, get that key, and go backtrack, and then make your way back up. Like, we're going down here, and we're eventually gonna have to go back up with the key. So that can definitely be a little tedious, without question. And unfortunately, I think that sort of detracts a bit from the only thing that this game has going for it, again, which is the puzzle solving. I kind of wish that it wasn't that they made... I just don't feel like, you know, if you're gonna try to make puzzles, I'd rather it about having it be complex and trying to figure something out in a set area than just having to backtrack consistently, because that sort of does take place. All right, so the only thing I have here, I still lack a weapon, but I do have my mind control bugs, so we can throw these. I don't want to go down there without any sort of offensive capabilities, I don't think so. Well, these guys are helping me out, so shucks. Let me just open this gate, and maybe if I stand behind them, I'll be okay. And we can throw this and try to get one of them or something, I don't know. Kind of sucks not having your gun, to be honest with you. See if I can still just punch them, because you can punch them. If you run out of ammo and you have a gun, you're able to just click and punch them, but it looks like I can't do that here. Gosh darn it. Come on, Cardinals, come help me out here, please. This is ridiculous. There we go, I do have control of him. Okay, so now I can use him. Oop. Or do I even have to do that? Well, I guess that's a good, I mean, I can use him to kill himself, I suppose. You know? Let me just check over here real quick. Okay, so we're gonna go back. Oh! Nope, don't kill the real me. Please. All right, forget it. I love that. I love it. It's gruesome, it's horrible, it's awful. But it's not real, so it's funny. You know? That's kind of my take on it. All right, so we're gonna get our health back. We're gonna continue to make our way through the rest of this particular level. And then I really don't think there's much more that I feel like I need to show you, because you've really seen what this game is all about. You know, I think another thing too is, I would say someone who has 3D glasses and is interested in checking out a game that's designed in 3D as this one is, maybe it'll be worth it for you. Maybe this is something you want to check out. My mind control bugs are not hitting. There we go, finally. Goes through the set animation. I have to wait for that every time. Yeah, that's great. And then, go down here. Take out our competition. And then off ourselves. All right, wonderful. Boy. Oh boy, oh boy. So anyways, back on topic. I would say that if you have 3D glasses and you're looking for a 3D experience that is designed around it, and you also have, this is a lot of caveats to try to suggest this game. So if you have 3D glasses, if you're looking for a 3D experience, and if you like platformers of a cartoony variety, then this game's for you. Yeah, that's a lot of ifs, I understand. And I will come out and say confidently that this game is absolutely not for everyone. No way, Jose, not at all. But I think a select group of people could definitely enjoy this experience. I do believe that. I am not sure how to get through that door. So I cannot do that. No, that's the key I needed. I don't need to get back through that door. I just need to go back, period. Rightio. You see what I mean, though? The backtracking? Kind of frustrating. Kind of frustrating. I'm really having a hard time coming to a conclusion on this game, and that kind of bothers me. And I think that sort of tells me something, does it not? If I can't figure out if I like this or not, and if I should suggest it or not, it means I probably don't like it that much. The backtracking kills me, and it's hard to make up for the fact that the combat is so bad as well. You know, I always do, if you're new to my channel, if this is the first time you watch my video, which I'm sure most people who are watching this know my stuff by now, but I always try to find the good in things when it comes to games. And it's kind of tough with this, it's kind of tough. There's a bit of comedy, but it's not too funny. There's a bit of puzzle solving, but there's a lot of puzzle solving, but it's kind of back and forth monotonous. And there's a bit of combat, but it's kind of terrible. And even the jetpack sections in this game, while they're more skill-based because you actually have to aim, and they do have it has its moments of entertainment. It's not. I don't think it's enough to really pull this game through. Also, the jetpack sections are very small. There aren't necessarily a lot of them. Well done, hard-boiled, says the Cardinal. It has all been arranged. We'll be going down the secret hatch, and it progresses to the next chapter, but I think we're going to wrap up this video here. I think that I've said all I need to say about this game and covered pretty much everything that I wanted to cover. So, while the Cardinal yells at me, I'll wrap this video up, huh? Let me pick up my pistol. This has been a look at the basics of Rocketbirds Hardboiled Chicken, developed by Rat Loop Asia. It's a 2D action platformer with a lot of puzzle solving, some crappy combat, and an interesting art style. If you have 3D glasses, give it a look. It's $10. I mean, it's not that expensive. But if you're just looking for like an amazing platforming experience, I don't think I could say this is it, and I don't think I could really suggest it. As much as I'd like to, because I like that they sort of are trying something different with platforming. Can I even say that? Does this thing bring anything new to the table? No, not really, but it's 3D and it's got a quirky art style and personality, so I guess that's what I mean by doing something different. But it doesn't really bring any brand new mechanics to the genre. It doesn't really flip things on its head. It just has a 3D environment. I don't know. Too bad. Wanted to like it. Thanks so much, guys, for watching. As always, if you like the content, please subscribe to the channel. Stay tuned in the future for some more gaming coverage. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. And as always, keep watching and keep owning. I got you. Turn around. I can do this forever. Watch this. It's funny. I'm out.